Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed. Today's consciousness, today's consciousness, today's consciousness. What happened and how can we change it? From the pristine position that we held in today's consciousness, here's a new show just for you every Tuesday called Today's Consciousness. Be there and enjoy all the great special guest stars that will be passing through on a new show called Today's Consciousness. Today's Consciousness. Today's consciousness. Are you ready to address all the things that are going on? And how can we heal today's consciousness? Today's consciousness. Today's consciousness. Right here on KSP TV. Today's consciousness. What happened and how can we change it? All right, family, how you doing today? How you doing? At 8 o'clock, we got our dear friend coming back for part 2. We got our dear brother coming back for part 2. Hope you could hear me. Put the number 1 in the chat if you could hear me. I'm your brother, King Simon, reminding you to be great in everything that you do. How's the family out there?
I want to thank Grandmaster and all the Grandmasters, male and female, that are here. And I want to thank you for demonstrating the greatness of your skill.
I'm saying, when I'm confronted by him, the question is, what do I see in him? First of all, I see, if we're taught that when we look at another man or brother or sister, when we look at our alternate's heart, we got to see ourselves. Do you understand what I'm saying? So now the question is, what do you see? Do you see yourself or do you see someone capable of destroying you?
That's right, family. Make sure you go to www.thevskjujitsu.com if you want to participate in Chicago with Dr. Abdul Aziz and his beautiful wife, Aziza Muhammad. So remember, tonight we have our brother on Today's Consciousness. His name is Blue Pillar 44, part 2, because the first one was kind of interrupted due to technical difficulties. And please support the channel, of course. You could also advertise. I have an advertisement discount going on right now. So if you want to discount and advertise your business on my channel, please, by all means, text me at 347-496-1022. But you can support the channel through PayPal, Zelle, Venmo, Chime, and Cashapp, as you see in the front. Remember, tomorrow we will be interviewing the one, the only Queen of Fua with my special guest co-host, New Diamonds will be with us tomorrow. So make sure you lock in. New Diamonds will be making her first appearance on my platform. Queen of Four will be promoting this big event coming up called the Ascension Rise of the Healer, August the 1st through the 3rd at the Brooklyn, New York Marriott Hotel, downtown Brooklyn, not too far from the bridges, right there near the Brooklyn Bridge. So make sure y'all support Queen of Four. She has something big. I think we're going to be in the building myself. I think Brother Rich might be out there also. So that's going to be good. And if you are in London, England, Lloyd Strayhorn will be in London, England for the first time. Actually speaking for the first time in London, England, across the pond. And it's going to be called, it's presented by Cloud Purple. We interviewed them this last Sunday. And it's called Interconnectedness. So please, 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 please show them love. Make sure y'all go to the link if you are in the London area. Matter of fact, let me post the link inside of, we put the link inside of the chat. So if you want to go there and you're able to go, please show Lloyd Strayhorn some love, making his first appearance in the UK, courtesy of that beautiful couple that you see on the screen. Okay. Somebody said that they just started jujitsu this week. Okay, that's good. Good. I've been doing it since the 80s, late 80s. I've been doing standing jujitsu, not ground jujitsu, but we do know how to deal with the ground and the grappling, the Brazilian jujitsu. But Sanukas Ryu jujitsu is more standing. We taking you to the ground real quick, and we not going to the ground. We keeping it moving. We ain't got no time to be on that floor too much. But respect to everybody that does Brazilian jiu-jitsu or the Angolan jiu-jitsu also. So big up to everybody that does that and all the different styles of martial arts. At 8 o'clock in the next 4 minutes, we're supposed to have Blue Pill showing up. Also, just want to remind everybody that please support my dear sister Abundance Child on her channel there, wjvsradio.com, and also support Lloyd Strayhorn. Make sure you support. Join my Patreon, and you will be getting ready to the launching of this class, Your Name is Your Theme Song. So we're going to get a little in-depth about the name being a theme song, being an instrument that you are playing in the orchestra of life, and how to use it from a basic but also a deeper perspective. So that's going to be very important. And I want to remind everyone again, family, that our dear sister Queen Afua will be with us tomorrow. I see the elder, my brother, my younger brother in the backstage. We'll be bringing him on for part 2 momentarily. But Queen Afua will be with us tomorrow, and making her first appearance as a guest co-host is New Diamond. So I can't wait to have her as a co-host. And big up to one of my newest sponsors, 340 Worldwide, 340worldwide.com. They help to provide services to help you grow your business. Okay? Make sure you call that number and tell them that King Simon sent you. If you have a business that you want to start, beginning or whatever, and you need some help, this sister can help you. And she's been focusing very deeply into a lot of the brothers and sisters out here that are doing the work. So please support that. Also, my son has a great recording studio called Green Studio NYC. Prince Imagine. Make sure you support my dear son, my firstborn, from his beautiful mother, who lives and resides in North Carolina. Before we bring on our Blue Pill brother, we're going to play another commercial break real quick, and we'll be right black and melanated after this. Okay. Welcome back. Time now is 8 o'clock, and for part 2, we want to welcome our brother. He's not new to this. He's true to this, like David Levy would say on WBLS back in the day. Let's welcome for part 2 our brother Blue Pillar in the building. Blue Pill.
Peace.
Peace and harmony and
Peace,
love, of
peace.
course. How you feeling?
Yes, my brother. I am feeling absolutely amazing. I am here. I'm home. I'm on the home grid in Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn.
Yes, indeed. So, last time we had a little technical difficulties and what have you. But this time I made sure I'm here. I'm on time. Yes. I am totally invigorated and ready for this episode. Episode with extra oomph and extra meaning on it, because I am actually here sitting with my brother King Simon, Suit and Simon. You feel me? And I look forward to it.
Well, first and foremost, thank you very much for wanting to do it again. And I was looking at I actually put the first one in my membership, so people have to be a part of membership because it was going in and out, and you was in the wrong place, and I got that. That was good. First, I want to say you shouted him out. I know the brother very well, Ray Dejon. Shout out. Of course, that's my brother. I've known him for years, even during my journey. He interviewed me while he was on Video Music Box. So back in the day, my reggae days, you know what I'm saying? I was performing with Shaggy and Ray Fox and at the Ark, and he was one of the people that interviewed me, and a Screechy Don and all of us, man, back in the day.
So again, even today we're going to be speaking about aspirational things, from going from the audience to actually going to the stage, from looking up to certain individuals who are iconic in this particular walk, and you getting your pointers from them in terms of promotion, just like in the same vein as when you came along and you brought an extra spark to this community because of promotions. Ray Dejon was one of those brothers who was a staple in our community for his promotions. A super advocate for Ralph McDaniels, not just Video Music Box, Ralph McDaniels. I remember 3Bs. I remember all of the things that took place outside of Video Music Box. There were actually Brooklyn-based events. I remember them brothers from the Tunnel. I remember them brothers from the Ark. I remember them. You know what I'm saying? I remember we used to go on the ski trips. That's
That's right. Black Diamonds. Big up to Black Diamonds. The whole crew. Roosevelt, T-Dog, all of them that did the ski trips.
That's a whole nother story.
I was part of the Top Dog ski trips, and also
Ray Dejon got some archive footage in the vault.
Yeah, I used to host the other ones, and he hosted them ones. And he had and then he went to
and Ray always understood the street, so he would always be in the mix, of things, but not mixed up in it. But you would always see Ray Dejon around. Ralph wouldn't get in the mix. You know what I mean? And he's not supposed to. But you see Ray Dejon at the after hours.
Oh yeah, you're gonna see Ray. And yesterday he transitioned. Today is his born day. So that's crazy. Wow. Exactly. Today
so he was in his critical cycle?
He was in his critical cycle before he passed.
Moving into what year? What year was he moving into?
If you have the 15, the 6 plus the 7, being a number 4, he's in a 4 personal year cycle, which was 6 because he's born on the 15th. 4 is one of his challenge cycles, and it's a health cycle. One of his health cycles also.
So do we know where he transitioned from?
Not yet. I was talking to his brother-in-law and his sister's husband, a friend of mine, is another comedian, Sync the comedian, another brother who I've worked with and known since I was young in this world, because I was doing comedy and promoting comedy, but he's also good friends with my cousin. When I was younger, when I was like 8 years old, they used to play ball. They was older. They used to play ball, so I knew Sync for years. But not yet. But we all know that it's
right.
Stopped, so
because back here in New York, I'm just running into so many stories about brothers and sisters that are dropping in an untimely fashion due to health complications, things based on more like either the stroke or the heart attack, either or. And it's a conversation that we shouldn't ignore, because this is still a relatively young age for these brothers who I know cherish life so much, you know what I'm saying?
He enjoyed
but
life.
Also our lifestyles are catching up to us in this particular generation. I'm about to embark on my 50th year.
Yeah, man.
And when I think about people like Ray Dejon and them, I'm like, we grew up in the clubs and being back in New York, seeing how they have no respect for any sleeping schedules whatsoever or regimens.
No, we didn't.
I'm just remembering, like the toll that it must have had on our bodies to be in those clubs every night.
And drinking, and think about them drinking and smoking, right? And all of
at
that.
Least to 4 o'clock.
Yeah. He would have been 64 today.
64. So I partied from 14 straight, maybe to 35.
Yeah. Wow.
Straight.
Yeah. No.
So all of this post recovery that we're doing with our bodies, and people are like, I'm like, I'm outside with an attempt to make back for time that I can never catch up to. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody ever taught me about sleep debt. No one even taught me about the science of sleep and why it was so important. I opted out of it because of music, because hip hop told me, you're gonna sleep when you die.
Yeah. Exactly.
And they didn't tell me that they was on substances to assist in them not sleeping.
Exactly. And
so we come from a city that does not value sleep.
Not at all.
And it got, again, our lifestyle has been put into our music and has become culture. And then I find the very single things that we're standing for and up against are the very things that we once promoted. I speak for myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because of the lifestyle.
And I was born in a nightclub. My father basically opened a nightclub the year I was born. So I've been living.
Born in a nightclub.
Yeah, man. The year I was born, he opened a nightclub just to make extra money. And sure enough, and it was in our house, down in the basement lounge club. So I heard the music, and he, like a proud father seeing his first son, he bring me down into the lounge and the clubs. And, of course, my mother didn't want me to go there, but it was just, because I remember them painting the floor as a child and painting the wall and setting up the decor and all of that. I remember all of that as a child, watching them do this. So that's why I became very good at promotion, because after my father did it, my cousin took it over, but they was all into, the Rasta culture, the R&B culture, the American music. They was playing it all in that club back in the day. But the primary music definitely was Caribbean music, and they kept on pushing that heavy. But they always played the love songs from R&B, old school love songs and all that, because I remember the music that James Brown they used to dance to, all of that. So, I've been doing it. Then I went to SOBs, and then and Ray knew me from doing reggae, because like I said, he used to host, co-host. He did dance tracks too with Tony too.
He did. He
did dance tracks first.
Yeah.
And Tony's my boy. I used to host his show with Miss Jones back in the day, and Wendy. So I remember those days, bro.
That's legendary. Right.
Yeah.
Rise in power to our brother Ray. May he continue to travel on rays of light, in these dog days. You know what I'm saying? May our brother have a may his transition, back to where our souls originate from, may it be seamless for him.
Right. And they're still remember, tomorrow is a part. He was going to do a roast tomorrow of himself. So he had all the top comedians coming. They're still going to do it. Because
they're still doing it.
The show still goes on. That's what Ray would have wanted.
Ray would have wanted
for fact. I think Rob Stapleton is the host. All of them are going to be there.
They're going to cut.
They're going to cut up. I know they're going to be crying, but they're going to cut up tomorrow. They're going to cut up.
Damn, Ray. Yeah.
They're going, because he would wanted to go on. That's his club, 275 over there, Park. That's his club. He would not wanted to go. He never wanted to stop a show. I mean, even during the pandemic, he had parking lot comedy.
Wow.
Negroes in the car with speakers around, and you can laugh by bumping the horn, son.
See what I'm talking about? Like, that's Ray. Good. Yeah, like this family. This is who we talking about. You know what I mean? And again, if you're not from New York, it might be hard to appreciate individuals, right, like that cut through they always find a way. And the resilience of a native New Yorker, you know, or someone who's dedicated to their creed that knows that the show don't stop regardless of what's going on. You know what I mean? Even posthumously, that's legendary, man. Salute to that brother.
Let me show you something. Hold on. This is him and he was a dancer, and him and his sister used to get on. Big up to Moochie all the time. Him and his sister used to get up and dance on the dance floor. And here it is, family. This is him and his sister. I don't want to play the music because it will strike the channel. But this is him and his sister doing the hustle.
Doing the hustle. Yeah.
Doing the hustle, baby. That's there. Because they playing, they dancing to "Love Is the Message" right now, and if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
But I didn't want to play that music because YouTube would just snatch it up.
Yeah.
So, but
Ray Dejon is a classic.
That's it. He loved to dance. He's a dancer. That's why he took out. We went to them ski trips. We went to them crab festivals. We were doing comedy. We were booking comedians and different things. So big up to Ray, the late great Ray Dejon, man. That's him and his beautiful sister, Moochie, who happens to be married to Sink. My brother Sink, all the time, or connected to my brother Sink. Yeah, they're dating. So big up to them, man. That's But yeah, sorry. That's them two. Just doing their thing.
Yeah,
so,
man. Salute to that.
And it goes into the consciousness now. Going into today's consciousness, even with music, and even doing those type of I used to produce events in the nightclubs. Even while I was at Temptation, I would produce an event. At SOBs, I would produce a Kwanzaa event. Just to remember, remind people. I used to work with Baba Olatunji, the drummer, and bring him in to do SOBs with Larry and all of them at SOBs, just to make sure that we had consciousness and culture in that club or that place that's still open for 40 years, SOBs. And I worked with Larry and all those guys, with Gil Scott Heron being in there and all these great people. Oh, yes. Gil Scott Heron actually signed 2 books for me. He said, "Young man, can you read?" I said, "Yes, sir." And he said he gave me 2 books, Vulture. The other one is Vulture, and I forgot the other one, but I still have them in my archive. I didn't lose those.
So, SOBs for me, the very first place that I performed is SOBs on my birthday, November 14, 2012, I believe. No,
really?
This was 2010 because we was out with Ghetto Shaman and KT, and then that's when we put some music out in 2010.
Right. And
we was at the Zulu anniversary. So this was Zulu had their anniversary in November. So I got to perform before in front of Poor Rights' Teachers. Bambaataa was there. Wow. Curtis, like the whole pantheon of like the hip hop forefathers, they was all in the building. Brother Jay from X Clan, like these are all people that I grew up with. Once again on Video Music Box,
exactly.
Right, observing. X Clan lived across the street from my junior high school, Ditmas. So I got to see them, but Lumumba and all of them was a pivotal part of Video Music Box, protected by the red. But I learned about Sonny Carter, like all of these. Yeah, it's so much history that we were exposed to through that vehicle. Yeah. And again, even right now, like I'm in Crown Heights, so just remembering Video Music Box and Ralph McDaniel, remembering Richard Green, right?
My man from the Crown Heights.
McDaniel, yes, because he had 3 Bs. When I came home in '99 and I did the modeling, I think Jackie Rowe at the time, she was doing promotions at 3 Bs.
Yes, right.
So I never moved away from,
right,
like you said, with Ray Dejon.
I
always was around him in every era, and I always was able, once again, to see that man, professionally standing on what he stood on and never wavering. You feel me? And we were just able to go through our cycles. But as many times as you go around the world or you do whatever you do, you always come back home and it's always where you pick up where you left off.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because people don't know 3 Bs was right next to Medgar Evers College.
Right next to Mega Evans,
Right
yes.
there, across from Mega Evans College. Right now they got an auditorium there right now. They bought that whole area and built the auditorium. That's where I seen what's the name spoke there, Joyce DeGruy, Dr. Joyce DeGruy. She spoke there. So
Okay.
yeah, so yeah, that was a monumental area, man. That whole area where the armory was right up the block, or down the block was Empire Roller Rink back in the day, not too far over there, and of course Caribbean City. I used to work out of there.
Yeah, Caribbean City.
All those places, man. I used to roller skate and teach roller skating at Empire Skating Ring when I was younger with Big Bob and Sting International and all the reggae shows I've been through there and all the hip hop events. So, man,
history, man.
It's a lot of history. And, while that's going on, consciousness is going on, brother.
Yeah.
People forget. While that's going on, UAM is doing their thing at Slave Theater, son. And I'm in and out of those places. People forget that I'm in and out of those places too.
Yes.
So I think I was on on that and seeing your mother there with the big afro. Always remembering her with the big afro at the UAM conferences at Slave Theater. They just got it now, so they building a whole condo over there now. It's just over there. I mean, you should see it if you walk past there. They got the place. Okay. They're building a whole condo. So I'm walking that thin road, Blue. There was a thin line that we walked, club and consciousness, because you was already connected to Dr. Sebi when you was going through all of that anyway.
Yeah.
If you think about it. You know what I'm saying?
I was. Exactly. But again, and I'm honest with
me too.
My testimonials, right? I was in the street. That was home. Like, I was around Sebi. I was around all that. I saw all that stuff. But what was going on in the streets was more interesting to me and exciting. And not to negate anything from what they were going through, but all of this fanfare that's around now did not exist then. You know what I'm saying? And I remember when people came to assault Sebi, and that was the reception. That people wanted to fight this man because he had the audacity to be outside healing people of their demons, and he was being attacked by the people's demons. And there was not a lot of community support. And we had to eat rice cakes and peanut butter, and there was no vegan cuisine. None of this stuff was sexy. So I hear, a lot of the remodeling that people are doing to it now, but that didn't exist back then.
And and that's where I want to stay real quick, is because you was like a child of it. I was a teenager of it. Coming in, because coming through the 5% Ansar and all that. Dr. Sebi was around. I started hearing about Dr. Sebi 87, 88. And that's when I left the Ansar law community in 88. So that's when I started hearing him on LIB, BLS and all that. And that's when the whole thing went down. It went down. So when you was, although you was in the street, what was the stuff that was what was in the back of your head that kept on bringing you back to consciousness?
Well, my father, right. I was raised in my father's household.
Big up to your pops.
I was raised around an educator who put a heavy emphasis on education, and he always told me the history. He was always inundating me with history, but more so from the vein of civil rights. Right. Not so much esoteric. When he brought us to the museum, we got a lot of the history and the mystery, but he was very practical just in terms of what happened to us in the last 50 years, right? He didn't have me in the 5,000 year thing. So the last 50, 60, 70 years was enough for me to understand, for the most part, what was going on outside that I was looking at. Now, my mother, her stuff was more esoteric, to the degree that they were speaking about herbs and they were healing people. And again, me living in St. Croix, I had an ability to be in a Caribbean setting and feel that there was a difference, but again, I was exposed to the scourge of Christianity on our people when I lived with Sebi and my mother on the island.
Right.
And they were neglecting evidence for dogma. And it was a spell, and I could tell it was a spell because of the way that people acted and responded. When I got back to the States, people were on drugs. They had an excuse for why they were acting the way that they were. But I was like, religion had them people acting in a way in which the drugs don't even got them acting. The drugs, they still had a semblance of coming in and out of their spell. Religion it had them all the way in. You know what I'm saying? This is where I was getting hit with rulers by, you know, white women with skirts on. Like, what are we doing here? Because I don't know what none of this is about. So, and they had us dressing in pink shirts. So when I got back to the States and my father gave me a Big Mac, but you gotta, and people gotta understand, I come back from St. Croix to visit my father for Christmas, and he lives now in Flatbush. So I get off at Prospect Park. I'm smelling all these different smells, and I'm hearing all of these different sounds, all of the music, all of the language. You know what I'm saying? It was just so much flavor. And I'm coming from eating rice cakes with peanut butter and Seymour soup. They did not have it figured out yet. They were attempting to have it figured. They were proselytizing. He had not had his shit together yet.
That's right.
So
that's right.
And again, I had a father that I gravitated to, that I wanted to know more about what he was on.
Right.
No disrespect to Sebi. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do the US thing. And they end up coming right behind us because their client at the time was Teddy Pendergrass. So they were going to the warehouse in DC, and they were coming down to Philadelphia to see Teddy P. And then my mother on weekends would bring Sebi down to see her folks. And that's when they saw the Scourge of Crack. And they was like, we got to do something about this. And they ended up opening offices on Brooklyn on Atlantic. So I had best of both worlds at that time.
Yes.
So in the backdrop of my mind, I knew that even though I was in the streets, I wasn't from the street. So I was only there for a reason. The streets allowed me to act out my rebellion. And the rebellion came from my father infuriating me with information about what people had done to us. And he ain't telling me no stories about what we did back to them. So I was just like, shit, well, I don't want to be part of them, because I saw this man named Sebi and he wasn't scared of these people. And to me, it made him look like he was 8 feet tall, but he never expressed any fear for any colonizer. And I seen that he had pockets full of bread. So he was successful again, but the people weren't initially. When he got to Brooklyn, it was different. You know what I'm saying? They were a lot more receptive here because he had his program together now. The food, they had a whole food list.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They was going to different vegan. It wasn't called vegan then, but yeah,
they had the original Whole Foods, man. They had the original
Garden of Eden, and all of these different places that they was going and getting all of this new exotic stuff that I was able to try.
Yep.
I was there for that. The 2.0 version of them when they got to New York, that was a little bit more sexy. You know what I'm saying?
Would you say that? No. Yeah. Would you say that Sebi's move from St. Croix to America was the pivotal point of his life, and what happened during that time with going to jail and all that and being accused?
Absolutely.
That was a pivotal point, man. And
because Sebi would always tell his mother that he was going to, in so many words, he was like, I'm going to bait them to come and get me. And when they fall for the bait, that's going to be my moment. You know what I'm saying? Right. So he had already preordained that he was setting bait for these people to bite at. And he was going to utilize that again as promotion, because Sebi was with the shits. I don't know if people know that or not.
Yes,
right? Mm-hmm. He was going to fulfill his plan by, trying his hand at notoriety. And that's what they did when my mother put the article in the Amsterdam News about they cure AIDS. And the state attorney general, for the New York State, Robert Abrams, came at them by prompting of Dr. Fauci and them, who was saying, yeah, go shut that down.
Right.
Right. They was just now putting the AIDS thing on the tracks, and they had big plans for it. And they like, we're not finna let y'all interrupt those plans, because Sebi and my mother said when they ran that ads, the AIDS was only something that homosexual men were getting in New York City, like in the village. It was a marginalized, quote unquote, disease. And Sebi gets on the radio of New York and starts speaking to that. And that's what got him banned.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
More than anything else, the language that he was using about how the lifestyle was making us susceptible to this quote unquote situation, this immune deficiency syndrome, if you will.
Right. And
and I don't want to get too graphic, but again, the things that he was saying was making more sense than what the other people were saying. So people started listening more to him, and then they started servicing those clients specifically and getting results. And the results prompted them to move to shut them down. Again, so I'm seeing this as a child and trying to make sense of it. And I'm just like, oh, these people, they just, the government ain't no good. Like they ain't for no good. They don't know no good. They've been about doing no good. Everything that my father told me must be true. Because look what they doing to my mother. And then they told her, they was like, if you don't turn states on Sebi, we're gonna make your children's life a living hell. We was 10 years old at that time. So I was like,
that's deep, man. And I know experience that type of and that has to hold into the mind of y'all as children at that time. That had to stay. And again, even people like KT was very young also, I understand, because
he was baby.
Yeah, because I know he grew up in the sandbox with people like Sasa and all that. They was the same age, same year they born. I could only imagine how.
Yeah, they was babies. I literally remember them. They was in diapers and stuff. Again, yes, I don't know if it impacted them the same way. Again, as we was observing what was going on, we observed that the energy was changing. You know what I'm saying? And then, yeah, it was a lot that came with that, dealing with the fallout. So it signaled to me, again, because I saw what was going on and it became a lot more serious, that I'm like, and then Sebi would, because when my mother would feel a certain way about what we were going through,
right,
she would lean on Sebi, and if Sebi wasn't getting the best output from her, then he would lean on us, right? Like, y'all gotta get y'all shit together, because this is throwing off your mother's, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I saw, yeah, and that goes to show you, family, if you're listening out there, and it's not as if my father didn't care. We kept it a lot more hidden from him, I think, than was able to when I was around my mother, right? But when we knew that they cared enough, then we also, cared to be like, all right, this is impacting my mother. This is damaging her. Us being outside and gambling with our lives, yeah, it's not as attractive to her, you know what I'm saying, as it might have been to us.
Right.
So,
And but proud of y'all journey. Y'all are still here, especially coming out of the realms of the street that y'all been doing until now it's transformed into what y'all doing today. Proud of y'all journey, because I remember Sebi used to call for you at the lectures. Is Paul here? Where Paul? He calling for you. I remember. Yeah. And I'm like, wow, and I think he was looking for you and Phil at that time.
Yeah. He was really towards the ending of his, because he wrote about it in the book, or at least Mr. G wrote about that.
Yes.
That he was really looking for Phil at the time. You know what I'm saying? I'll leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? My last few years, it was like, Sebi is the Sagittarius, and yeah, he was just a very interesting individual that I would have loved to have completed the book because I had started a book with him. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But it got interrupted with all of the wives taking. You know, every time I'm scheduled to go and fly down to finish the book, then my ticket gets canceled. All of this stuff,
Right.
all this stuff that was going on at that time, and I just I wonder what Sebi's legacy in life would have been without all of the pettiness around him.
That part. Wow.
All of the people attempting, stop playing interference to block all of this other stuff that was supposed to happen. Sebi had super big plans, and the people around him were not enabling him to activate those plans. The Bolingo idea about the supermarket, you know what I'm saying? He had that. He was speaking to Lauren Vanderpool about certain chef meal plans and things of that nature that he wanted to get in front of. He has some very good ideas about legacy plays, that things that he wanted to leave that would have superseded him legacy wise. So there wouldn't be all of this treading of water with people attempting to fill in the blanks. The mission was clear. You know what I'm saying? And as long as any of the children or anyone affiliated with him is completing the mission, there should be no reason for us to even, we should be tunnel vision where we don't even get a chance to look over to the next lane. But everybody is not on their mission, so they pocket watching and they hating, and everybody got their ruler out trying to measure things that are not needed to measure. Feel me? Because the only thing that they should focus on is the work.
Exactly.
And if melanated people is the number one leaders of comorbidity, I hate to have 100 children that's outside in the world attempting to do his work, because you'll never have enough people to qualify the client list, the amount of people that's out here that need the help. So where do they have time to do the things that they do to one another? I have no idea.
Powerful. And that so many things that could have, should have, would have happened if Baba Sebi would have set things in place.
Yeah.
And and it happens with a lot of great ones like him. They don't set things in place, and then their children become all over the place and demigods in their own way, and trying to do all kinds of different extra things that just not
creators of chaos.
Yes, and you could expect that, especially when you have so many children. You don't know who's going to support you at the end. You really don't. You rolling dice when you have children. Like, hey, oh, you don't know if you're gonna get snake eyes and sevens. You don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So you can just wish for the best, man.
Don't know. And having children, are you there? You're frozen?
No, can you hear me? Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm good. Can you hear me?
There you go.
Yeah, I'm here. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, what you saying? Go ahead.
Hello?
What you said?
I was just speaking about, having children and raising children, rearing children, retrofitting children are all different things. You know what I'm saying?
You stopped. I couldn't. You stopped for a minute. You kind of froze.
Yeah, you going in and out. Are you there?
I'm still here. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. Oh shit. All right. Let's see if he can come back in. But we're having a good conversation with our brother Blue Pill. He'll be back in a few seconds. Big up to New Diamond. Big up to New Diamonds. Remember, she'll be with me tomorrow with the lovely Queen of Fua as we wait until Blue Pill will come in. Tomorrow, we have the lovely Queen of Fua and the lovely Blue Diamond making her first appearance on the show. Big up to Blue Diamonds. Okay, let me see. Blue is back. Let's see. Blue, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I
Okay, good,
can.
great. We're back. Okay, good.
Um,
What you were
yeah.
saying? What you was
You
going?
know what? Every time those glitches happen,
Yeah, let's
I
not
be
talk
like,
about it. Let's keep it moving.
I be
Right?
like, Sebi don't want me talking about
Yeah,
that.
let's keep it. Let's stay away from it. Yeah, let's stay away from it. That's what it's saying. It's all right. I understand. We got it. Okay. Simon,
But you got it.
we got it. Moving
I
right
know you
along.
still work. Yeah, Sebi, you still working it out. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Yeah,
You got it.
He's on the other side working it out, man. I remember talking to Azazel, and Azazel and his wife had a dream about Sebi, Azariah.
Well,
And
my Jade,
yeah, my Jade, yeah.
she shares a born day with him.
Yes,
Please
they born
continue.
the same day. Exactly.
Yeah.
But moving right along, because the things that has happened, that has transpired in what has changed in the community, because that's what this is all about. What has changed? How can we heal it? Can it be healed at the end of the day? And are we all have we now begun to circle the wagon now, or delineate and put certain things in certain perspective? Whatever we're doing, they look like they're doing the same game of separation again. That's what I'm noticing. I don't know if you're noticing, but I know, and I understand. I understand that, like Farrakhan used to say back in the day, the names and faces may change, but the game is still the same. Breaking us up, having us argue about who's this, who's that, who's original to this country, who's not original to. All of that is going on now. When I used to have lectures, when UAM used to have lectures, and everybody from every different type of circle came to the lectures, regardless of what. And I don't mind, again, like I said before, I don't mind people, knowing and understanding their culture. But, when you start disrespecting, because you don't know who's the real people, the bots out there that are doing out the disrespectful thing, or the trolls out there that want to see us fight against each other. And that's where the problem lies for me. Look, I want everybody to get their reparation through FDA, FBA, or ADOS, or CARICOM, or whoever's going to get it first, get it. But please, why disrespect each other? Why? Why we got to disrespect? And from your perspective, where did you see a lot of the disrespect start coming into the conscious community? Hey, I know where you might go.
Where did the disrespect start coming in?
Yes, started showing his face.
Once there was an emphasis of putting commerce before culture, then that's where the propensity to cut people, to talk slick, and to make certain insinuations, people started knocking other people in ways that they hadn't prior. And then because of the sacrifices, because understand that consciousness also can be struggle ink, right?
Right.
And there's a reason for that. But again, you should not be married to it. So when the young people came and started stirring the waters and said, you can't be sedentary and struggle ink, because that's not going to work for me. I got these wives and these babies I got to feed. We got to get to the bag because it's outside. That made some people uncomfortable, and other people was with it. You know what I mean? Then when they started talking about the bag, and they started speaking about reparations, and that was such a big bag, right? Then the younger people started pushing the older people out of the way and reformatting that conversation. Almost like when we came into consciousness, and I have to be very careful because there's waves of consciousness, and I have said in the past before, like, yeah, well, I was around for this wave, and we started this and we started that. And it's like, the more that I'm in New York, and the more that I meet people, and the more people tell their story, like even when I heard Black Dot tell his origin story, when I hear you tell your origin story, and I was with a brother the other day on a rooftop, and he was telling me Sharif Bey's origin story from 92, 93. And I was like, yeah, when I was a knucklehead in these streets, and I was getting on the wall of fame for low life activities and things of that nature, people were still walking that walk and they still was dealing with consciousness. And consciousness has been around, I think, forever. As long as melanated people have been with a mind, we have always had some semblance of a conscious community.
Right.
So when I came along in 2000, 2001, the latest iteration of it dealt with us specifically utilizing hip hop as a platform to bring in more youth. And then that prepared us for when social media came in 05, and then consciousness went online. And then the YouTube era, that's a whole different version of consciousness. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
In or about those times when people who understood marketing, when they understood the fact that, and I told my mother this, I was like, yo, you could have been the first person to cure AIDS, what she was. You could have all of these storied legacies. I was like, somebody could get on Instagram with a faceless page, put your information on there and sell more products. I can make more money off of your album than you. Right? So I was like, it's pure marketing. And it don't even got to be marketing the truth. It's clever marketing.
Right.
If they marketing is more clever than yours, if they understand SEO, if they can get to your narrative before you can, they can sell more of your stuff than you can.
Right.
And the elders just don't understand the logic that I'm using with that. And I would say that's the same thing that happened with the hijacking of consciousness once savvier marketers got in place and figured out how to get to the bag, you know what I'm saying? Or at least how to steer the conversation about getting to the bag. And to me, that's just the reparation conversation is about people getting to a bag. And I'm not saying they're not willing, they're looking to get to a bag that they're not willing to work for. But I'm like, well, all that time and all the energy that has been spent with people arguing about who should be the first in line to get to the bag, that I'm like, if you foundational and you black here and you got 500 acres of Mississippi, but you don't know what to do with it, nigga, what do getting to the bag gonna, what difference does that make? Because within your network, you got about 5,000 acres of people that's sitting on land right now. Why don't you do some fractional, fundraising amongst the folk and start building out a cash crop? Like, what are we waiting? Are we waiting on a check to be active? Are we waiting on a check to be productive? Historically unified, and you understand that if you're going for reparations, you got to go for the church, the Vatican, because the doctrine of discovery or the Antikythera, right, which was formulated on May 4th, 1493, is the operating document that they put everybody under slavery, regardless of whether you was in the West Indies, whether your ass had a feather over here in the Mississippi Delta, right? Whether your ass was in Africa on the coast, whether you was in Australia, everybody got hit over their head because of the Pope Alexander III, whose son is the same person who Michelangelo painted as Caesar Borgia. So the same nigga who passed the papal bull that took all of your land from your punk ass is the same one who put his face on t-shirts and they got him on people's walls as Jesus. Go to them with the smoke, my nigga. Right? You barking up the wrong tree. You feel me? And I see the game that y'all playing, and I know who you niggas is. That they got out here running these PSYOP operations to split us up. And I kid you not. And again, I be wanting to go directly to the people who's starting this confusion. And then people want to run blocks and plays and they want to jump in front of stray bullets. And I'm like, this ain't for you. Let me talk to the niggas who's out here causing the confusion. Cause I see what they doing.
Yep.
And it's disgusting.
Again, the name and faces have changed, but the game is still the same, brother.
It's like no attention is being focused on who it's supposed to be directed on. And all of this noise is over here. So we supposed to be fighting amongst ourselves now to see who gets to the front of the line and get the handout. But then if you come to them and you like, we could get busy right now and get a check. They don't want to get busy though. They just want the check. Nah, son.
Now cipher.
Nah, son.
Now
Yeah,
cipher.
all of you is food when you get the check. How about that? If that's how you want to carry it, then you fool. Now, what's the mystery, my niggas? You gonna get the handout from the man, and you gonna turn your nose on us and tell us to go back to where we came from, and we over here bleeding for y'all, for us. But as soon as you get the little bit of a cheddar from homie, then they're gonna cut you off. Once you give you the cheddar, you're not gonna get the cheddar in the stable coin. You're gonna get it in the dead USD. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get played. You getting played right now by the fact that you're still having this conversation and it hasn't advanced. Then I'm like, we're wasting time. Why don't we get busy? If we have a pride of this land, why don't we put claims to own the land? Because getting a check ain't gonna bring you no closer to the land. Because you can do them things right now. We should be cleaning our hoods up. We should be sweeping these floors. We should be putting seeds in the ground. We should be planting trees everywhere. We should be making sure that these bees got homes. We should be stewards of the land. We should be in our proper persona and stop acting like a check is what's going to make us all of a sudden become either foundational or Aboriginal, Indigenous, or Arab, Yoruba, whoever. Right? Be that with no budget, not a low budget, with no budget. Show me what your sacrifice look like, and then make the heavens move and bend to your will, because you standing on business to that degree that the universe has to correspond. I don't see them niggas doing that. Respectfully.
Let's move.
Yeah.
Yo, okay, great. Let me get back on. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're black, man. Wi-Fi playing games around here, but it's all right.
Hey.
Every time we start talking some stuff, bro, it's all good. That's why I said, let me calm this down quick. Let's stop. Let's go somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's why.
Let's
But what all you said was 100%. I can't disagree with it. It was you was on it.
It's all out of love. It's again. We were born in this country, right? And we have an intricate love for this country, for this landmass, not just the country, the landmass. We have a concerted effort to want to solve the problems of this country and work through them. We have dedicated blood, sweat, and tears generationally. So it's a slap in the face, to people who have given and dedicated so much for the larger picture that starts here. You know, our freedom of a people is not just relegated to us getting our redress and our remedy for things that were wrongfully done to us here. It was a program that was enacted and initiated on us globally. And again, our failure to see it as such means that we don't know our history, meaning that we haven't been listening, meaning that we've only been hearing, you know, ourselves, for lack of a better terms. And I get it. You know, you know what I'm saying? People in this country have been led through politics to believe that someone's taking something from them. And that's the same thing that they had the white folks believe. That's why Trump is in the White House now, because they believe that somebody was taking something from them. So they playing the same game on black folk. Right. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, well, what's your response to taking it back? It just can't be, you know what I'm saying? Let me see that energy. And if it's a job thing, y'all got hella jobs right now available. Why is the people not lined up to go and work these jobs? Why are we not mobilizing entire workforces to get involved, to go and get the jobs that's available right now? If the whole thing is about migrants, if the whole thing is about machines, what about the people that are here, that are able and willing to work these jobs and work this land? Because it's wide open. So if we felt like somebody was taking something from us, look how much availability we have. And even before that happened, look how much availability we had in terms of land that was directly in people's family that they said they don't know what to do with it. Yeah, but we need housing, we need food, we need manufacturing, we need industry. I don't necessarily think that it's a check that's going to make the difference. I think that it's something more to this mission, such as a vision. And that vision should be unified, because melanated people should be able to do business diasporically with melanated people everywhere. That's the missing element to all of this. So you're telling me if I manufacture something in this country, I can't do business with melanated people, what they call Black and brown people in the Caribbean and South America and North and Central. I can't do it on the continent. I can't do it in London. There's 6 people, there's 6 places that they said that we exist diasporically. And melanated people on this side are the 6th block, right? If you unify that, then we have more people per capita, okay, than anybody else that we're talking about going up against. We could take that $1.2 trillion that we love dangling in front of the colonizer and unify that with other quote unquote markets, because we buying and selling at the end of the day. That's never going to change, right? If you got something that you're making to sell, you sell it. You looking to buy something, you buy it. That's commerce, that's business, that's life. That's never going to change. So why don't we have a broader outlook about what we're preparing ourselves for to do business? The more that we are marginalizing and we're cutting off our nose to spite our face by carrying on a conversation that's not unique to us. That's how I feel.
Powerful. Family, though, we got my brother Blue Pill in the building. I see brother Rich is in the chat saying his stuff. Rich is something else. Lord have mercy, Rich. We are family. Remember that.
Shout out to brother Rich.
Make sure if y'all want to call in and cam up, look, we at about the hour mark right now. My goodness, if you want to come in and talk and ask Red or myself a question, please, by all means, the
Blue,
chat is open.
I got on red today.
You say it yet?
People have been calling me red all day because I got on red. I'm blue.
Yeah, I mean blue. Yeah, blue. That's right. I know. I'm sorry. Man. So the link is in the chat right now. Those who want to come on in, and we're going right at the hour mark. We got 3 minutes before the top of the hour. Big up to New Diamonds in the building. Everybody's coming in. Sister Naya up in the building. Everybody, that was some of the people that have been on top of the mountain with us. Blue, let's talk about this before we go to the top of the hour. You know, it was such a powerful event on top of Stone Mountain. We send a ripple all around the world, not just throughout the Americas, all over the world, and people came from all over the world to support and watch. But yet you always have again, in this quote unquote, you always have the unpaid ops, the unpaid agents. Some of them might be getting paid to put dissension and madness in the frame, in the framework. But why do you think the way a person might dress or a gathering of so many people of different walks of life? I met people from the Caribbean. I met people from Africa on the mountain. I met people from all over on the mountain. Even, Top Cat came, show love, even all that. And, but people still have this disdain about us uniting in any form or fashion. That Black Magic said, this is a masterclass on hate disguised as intellectualism. This can't be Brother Rich saying this. Really? Brother Rich, come on in then, brother. Stop playing.
Masterclass on hate.
On hate. Disguised on the masterclass on hate is people that dogged out what you did on Stone Mountain, Rich, to tell you the truth.
Like
people that dogged you out.
It can't be both.
And talked about you badly on certain channels and talked about us being a cult and all that. That's a masterclass of hate. If you really want to talk about that, talk that shit. Talk the real thing is the masterclass is when people dog out unity on a mountain when we was not trying to practice no cultism and no madness. So why is people doing that, Blue? Go ahead, Blue. I'm sorry.
Should I respond to that? Again, what we saw in the mountain, like you said, was unity. That was the full frame and picture of what it's supposed to look like, right? Diasporically, people from all walks unifying under a particular mission and demonstrating what unity looks like. And then that automatically ignites other people who are disunified to get in their bag, right? So I don't know. I don't listen to that stuff. So I have no idea. And it comes with, it always comes.
Yeah.
So what makes it different this time? Did they say something new? I don't know. What makes it different this time than it was last time? And what made last time different than it was prior to that? Exactly. It was the same argument with new faces, right? And the new argument last time was that we was making the state of Georgia rich because we paid all of that parking.
Right.
So if they found out that the parking was backed up to the highway, imagine how much they was counting pockets and they feeling this time, right? So you had to know that whatever was about to come times two, right? So that's just it. And that's people who do not want to see us unified, who do not want to see us doing whatever we are doing, however we're demonstrating, whatever it is that we're demonstrating. I would imagine that's what they do. I have no idea.
It happens all the time. Let's go to the phone line. Somebody named Jonathan is in the background. All I ask people to do is be respectful, be intellectual, and be respectful coming on my channel. I am not afraid to block and throw people out. It is what it is. That's me. King Simon in the building. What's up, Jonathan? How are you, sir?
Peace. What's going on?
Peace. What's up, man? I'm gonna put you on top. I'll stay on the bottom while y'all do your thing. Pause. Cool. What question you got?
Peace, Jonathan.
I'm also wanting to key in and comment on what was being said about unity.
Right.
Unity. One of my other teachers, A.A. Rashid, said we are diffusionists. We find how to take the sum of our parts and glue it together. So it's best that we figure out common denominators and how to coincide with each other rather than move towards what people have moved towards as far as individualism. Individualism, I think, does more damage than good on the I guess we could say individual level, which is using the word for a word. But I think that's a big problem, like with people wanting to basically get theirs without anybody else getting anything else out of it. You know what I mean?
Right. Makes sense. So now, where you hailing from, brother?
PGDC area.
PGDC area. Big up to you, sir. Thank you.
Shout out to the DMV.
Yeah.
Shout out to the DMV. Big up to my brother over there with
Did
the
y'all get flooded too?
Yeah. It was a lot of flooding out here. We had flood warnings.
Yeah.
It was a lot going on. The thunder was crazy outside. It was crazy out here.
It's good.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
glad
the
you're
water
all right,
ain't
man.
playing.
Yeah, I'm glad you and the
And
family all right.
you was there. The first time I seen the flash flood was in Atlanta, right?
Mm-hmm.
We saw the flash floods Friday before Saturday.
Right.
So the night before the night before the actual walk, it was a meet and greet.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first time that I seen a 5-minute flash flood.
I was there the whole time, and a 5-minute flash flood I think it happened right before or right after we went to go in front of Martin Luther King Jr.
Martin Luther King Day. Right.
Mm-hmm. And then
It was it was before.
Yeah.
It was before we went to King's crib. It was a flash flood. Because I remember we came back and the venue was closed. And then we went to the Saturday, and then there was a flash flood Saturday night when y'all was at the venue, because remember, y'all had to come over to 640 for the performance, and they were stuck because they had a flash flood the next day.
And that water was deep. I was out in the streets. It was deep.
It was hella deep. It was a flood.
Mm-hmm.
It was really a flood. So yesterday here in New York, between the hours of 7 p.m. and 8 p.m., they had a flash flood, which registered as the second highest accumulation of water in New York ever, 2.4 inches.
Wow.
In a 1 hour period.
And
it culminated last night at 4.4 inches, huh?
And we just coming off a full moon.
A what?
A full moon.
Oh, yes, full moon. You want to speak about that moon real quick?
It
was a full moon in Cancer?
No, the sun is in Cancer.
I mean, the sun is in Cancer, right?
Sun is in Cancer.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About 6 days off from the actual full moon. So, Jupiter is in Cancer.
Jupiter.
Abundance of water by itself right there.
Abundance of water, Cancer, moon,
for the year.
Governing water, Jupiter, the abundance. So the U.S. having 1 in 1,000 year flash floods, however many, they said they had 6 or 12 1 in 1,000 year flooding events last week.
So the full moon is in Capricorn. Full moon is in Capricorn.
Right.
That was 6 days ago.
So literally, I remember like the last passage that I spoke coming off of that mountain, they was like, yo, we're going to tell y'all like we told Noah in the days of old that you got to build arks and get ready for floods. So I'm seeing everybody, they're speaking about getting to the peaks of wherever they're at. Even when they had the situation down there with Texas at Camp Mystic, they said that they had to get to the highest peak. Everyone is looking to get to the highest peak now because that's the only thing that will save you from the floods that are consuming everything at the ground level. So I just think that symbolically, again, what we're looking at, especially as the water overtakes the land and the land gets refreshed and anew, you know what I'm saying? It's very symbolic about what we experience. It's very symbolic about the future that we're all fighting to forge towards together. Together.
Right.
Thank you.
Jonathan, anything else you wanted to say, Jonathan?
Last thing, another thing to factor in, if I'm not mistaken, Neptune is also the sign that indicate floods, and it is in Aries going retrograde. So that's something more I probably would look into a little bit more. I ain't too calibrated right now, but that's about it. Peace and love.
All right, brother. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming, man. All right. Peace and blessings. All right. Man, got some brilliant people out there from all over the world, man. And Thank y'all for being brilliant. I see New Diamonds in there. Ascended Infinite Goddess. They went in on Ascended Infinite Goddess and me on Brother Rich's channel yesterday. Oh my gosh, about the whole thing.
About
You
the
know,
moon?
about the FBA and all that stuff. They went in, so I had to talk to her after to make sure she all right. And but again, because her and I, Jamaican family and all that. But moving right along, keeping it moving. Anybody else want to call in and or cam up? And even if you don't have to turn on your camera, just come in. The link is in the chat if you want to come in and enjoy us. She says she's from Miami. I can handle it. Miami in the building.
Miami.
I hear you. But
Liberty City.
yeah, when Miami gets hit with water, boy, woo, Lord. So, but New York. So you in New York, and I've been trying to call my mother. Mother haven't been responding. I mean, so I have to call around to find out what's going on. She ain't responding. I know.
Yeah, I didn't. She's not in the basement, is she?
No. She has a basement, but she's on the upper floor. She has a house, But I know. Flatbush. She's in the Flatbush area. So
yeah, I don't know if there's any water damage to any. You know what I mean? Like the footage that we saw on the internet, it looked very extreme. But that was in the subways, and again, it's a flash flood. So
yeah,
anywhere that the water rushes into, it's gonna have that impact. The pictures look crazy, but I don't know if it impacted people personally like that.
Right. I seen the train stations. Yeah, I seen the train station. But getting back into the program, those who want to come in again, the chat, if you want to come in, you can cam up. Blue, as we're moving on through, everybody's becoming more metaphysically inclined, while others are trying to destroy the metaphysics and call it pseudo and all of that. And I remember recalling what Nikola Tesla used to say, paraphrasing that if the scientific world would understand the unknown world, they would advance even more. I'm paraphrasing, but it was said in that way. What do you feel about this whole thing about the metaphysic world? They're growing, but yet still the quote unquote scientific world don't seem to.
Well, again, I speak about this often. It's a dichotomy of Western world. The Western world does not embrace Eastern philosophy because the Western world is left there. Which hemisphere is that? Just dealing with logic and all of that shit only. Their left brain, right? Yes. So they're only dealing with logic and reason, and they're dealing with the Western hemisphere of the brain. They don't acknowledge the Eastern hemisphere of the brain, which is dealing with right hemispheric creativity, intuition, improvisation, spirit, right? They don't acknowledge that because they cannot acknowledge that because they have to deal with the rigidness of dogmatic religion in the Western world. So they got the light code or the right code lockdown. Is you cannot tap into that hemisphere of your brain to draw about that information that deals with things that cannot be measured and proven by science. So science here is its own priesthood. And the science priesthood over here is rivaling this concept of God. So over here, they felt like we can do better. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to bring in this concept, this aloof concept of Eastern philosophy, where they have this God that can't be proven. You can't give credit to that. You need to give credit to this. You need to give credit to this physical instrument, this dollar bill, this thing that you can watch and idolize, or this white man, right? Whichever one is suffice. And those checks that he cuts, you feel me? That's people's gods.
That's right.
So yeah, they're like, no mystery God. We're not dealing with the mind. Matter of fact, we rule you with the mind, but we're not going to get into philosophy of the mind and allow you to have any philosophical input. We need you to work.
I see my beautiful sister in the building. Big up to New Diamond.
Peace.
Hold on one second. Let him finish his wisdom. Go ahead, brother. Finish it off, and then we'll bring her on.
But in so many words, that is why they do not embrace Eastern philosophy in the Western world because it brings in like Tesla's or like Einstein says, you know, spooky things at a distance.
Right.
It introduces conversations that they're not willing to have. Remember, the Western world does not have a comprehension definition for consciousness or intelligence.
Powerful.
Consciousness or intelligence has not been defined by the Western world, but yet they'll give you artificial intelligence, but they can't define or tell you what intelligence is, nor do they know what consciousness is or how it operates. They're just getting around to telling you, oh, we think trees have a consciousness, and so do insects. Oh, I think that everything is conscious.
Right.
They're just now saying that.
They just got it.
And it's like a eureka moment for them. So I'm like, oh, after you destroy 5,000 species, you're just now after you dumped on, look, the same people that's dumping on Big Mama, right? Whether it be the Rockefellers with the American Medical Association and all of those synthetic drugs, and the same people dumping on Mama Gaia with the runoff, microplastics, right? Petroleum, oil spills, depleting of oil, you know, sucking the blood out of this, the tectonics plates don't even got no shimmy no more to do their things. All of that stuff is being done by a few people who have been wreaking havoc for like 100+ years. This hasn't been a forever thing. You know what I mean? But it has gotten progressively worse as we've noticed more and more of them, you know, have more and more audacity to go further and further with the damage that's being done, especially if it's not being met with just about as much pushback as needed and necessary for them to know that the planet is not by herself and Big Mama got children.
That's right. And here's one of our beautiful children right here. What's up, New Diamond? What's up? Let me say this before you say something, New Diamond. She'll be making her special guest debut, and she'll be co-hosting with me for Queen of Four tomorrow. Yes. Let me take this off the screen. Hold on one second. She'll be co-hosting with me tomorrow for the first time with the beautiful Queen of Four, as Queen of Four is getting ready for her ascension ceremony. New Diamond, how you doing, my sister? What's happening?
I'm doing good. I'm doing great. I'm feeling vibrant, feeling well, still high from that mountain. Okay, we're still on the mountaintop. Okay, I still ain't came down. We ain't coming down. Okay.
Yo, so, my voice still there.
Right, your voice is gone. You're getting an upgrade on your vocal cords, right? On that throat chakra right now, right?
I'm trying to work it out.
So yeah, peace, love, and light to the family. I just kind of want to go back to what Blue was talking about with just mastering our minds. I feel like, you know, they're minding our minds. If we don't mind what's ours, what's mine's, then they're able to harvest that energy, right? So we have to take back our minds, take back what's ours. And this goes back to our values. This goes back to our worth. This goes back to self-love, right? That's why I kind of worry, you know, that's the motto, is self-love. We have to pour back into ourselves. So that is valuing our communities, valuing our intellectual property, right? Valuing everything, right? And that starts with ourselves, right? And when we come together as a collective, I feel like we are more powerful than ever, but we have to set, you know, the differences aside, the distractions aside, as these things are going to come when we're trying to ascend, right? The more we go up, the higher we go up, that incline, that pressure, right? It takes a toll on us. So we have to release these things on the outside as well. So it's kind of like we're surrendering to the flow of the divine, surrendering to the flow of the ascension, as we quantum leaped. Okay, I know y'all feel the energy. We most definitely quantum leap, and as we're leaping, as we're our physical bodies, our physical vessel, Gaia, you know, daughter Earth, Mother Earth, is tapping into that ascension as well. So there has to be the purge, right, for this ascension. It has to be the releasing. It has to be the death for the rebirth, the transformation, the metamorphosis. That is the only thing that is constant is change. The only thing that is guaranteed in this life is death. So with that comes transformation. With that comes this rebirth. And I feel like everything, right? As above, so below. We're talking about the alignments with the star system, the alignments with, the full moon, right? That is that Saturn. That is that discipline. That is that patience. That is that releasing. But we're in Cancer, so that is the roots. That is the ancestors. That is the water. So it is this balance between the mother and the father, the spirit and breath and the physical, right? So I feel like we're just kind of getting in the flow of this divine alignment, and we have to release things as they need to be released and embrace that, right? Whether that's coming together as a community, whether it's having these type of talks, these type of debates, so we can get things in order for our community, because other cultures do it, right? It's a Chinatown everywhere. You know what I mean? It's a little Mexico or a little Haiti. Why don't we have? But you go to the hood, right? You go to the urban. What do we? We're just starting. We're just starting to have that buildup. We're just starting, buying black and supporting the community, and it needs to be more of these type of things, more of these type of congregations, so that way it isn't just looked at as different. You know what I mean? Come to Atlanta, beautiful energy. That needs to be everywhere. You know what I mean? It needs to be more of that everywhere. But that starts with the community. That starts with us, investing in ourselves and not being afraid to invest in ourselves, because we invest in their brands. We spend $300 on some Jordans and Flex. But when it comes to supporting our other communities, no, it should. Where's that same enthusiasm? Where's that same energy at? So we need to find this value within ourselves. I mean, most people need to find the value, because we already got it. We already there. We already locked in, right? We know the value of each other, so we aren't afraid to invest in one another. But there's still a few people on the outskirts looking in, right? Like the people who weren't there on top of that mountain that get envious or they want to question her. But once again, we not on that vibe, right? We elevating. We with the ones who with us, right? So I don't know. That's just my perspective. And I feel like it's time where we take back our minds, right? And we value ourselves and pour back into ourselves, pour back into our communities. And the more we continue to do that, then it's this beautiful domino effect. It's this beautiful quantum effect, this beautiful butterfly effect. So, yeah.
Well,
Yes,
thank you very
yes.
much. Anything you want to answer that or say anything on top of that, Brother Blue? Or she just
I love the way she illustrated the concept of taking the quantum leap, right? And because we are composed of 5 bodies, right? We have the physical body, you got your causal body, you got your energy body, the subtle, all of these different bandwidths of bodies. And energetically, we know that we know physically what we observed. We know physically what we witnessed. We know physically what the undertakings were, but we also know that there's a body that went astrally and experienced something. We know that there's a body that when we went to sleep, we got different downloads.
Yes.
We know that there was a body a week later that came back to us with information. It was like, yo, I went all the way into the future and came back. You know what I'm saying? Shit lit. It's a million of y'all hit this mountain eventually. You know what I mean?
Yes.
There's so many things. So when you make that correlation of those bodies also to the earth, because we are tethered to the earth, and we literally tethered into the earth with Sharif Bey showing us technique.
Yeah.
So when I see, like you said, the earth now going through quantum leaps by way of the waters, the breaking of the earth and the cleansing of the earth and renewing of the earth is going to be shown to you in 2 forms. It'll be through water and fire, but again, that proclamation that I remember that I had read when I went to scripture, it said, prepare now as I told Noah to prepare in the old. You're about to repeat those times. Floods is coming. So I'm like, I'm seeing the waters, and these waters are renewal. They're refreshing. They're flash floods. They're sweeping. 1 in 1,000-year events, but 12 of them back to back to back. So I'm like, yeah, the earth has taken a quantum leap. You know what I'm saying? And it would have to, because we did. And we saw the Schumann resonance. And again, stop being disbelievers.
Yes.
Allow yourself the imagination, as Dr. B was saying. Allow yourself the fantasy, if that's the case. You feel me? Just allow yourself. And again, this is people who don't think that big enough about themselves to feel that they're capable or worthy of planetary shift, of, galactic confirmation. Stop thinking so small of yourselves, family. Stop thinking so small of yourself. People, like, we are a force to be reckoned with, especially when we unlock our power. And it showed that the strongest power that we have is unity. And I will not retreat from that, because we have done everything as a community to address issues. We have done everything that we could think of. The one thing that we have not mastered and done yet is unify. So when we do that, then what would the response be? When we do that, then when can we go to the table and negotiations look different? When we do that, then the concessions start coming. When we do that, then we got leverage. You feel me? But until we do that, then we don't have nothing but infighting. And you are separating straws against one another, and you need 5 fingers to make a fist. So for those who want to fight the good fight, right? Whether that fight forward leads you, and the fight forward for us leads towards community, right? Not wasting time fighting. No, making sure that these women and these children are safe, and the men could get back into their mind to create, to solve problems. You know what I'm saying? And then be the example, because all we got to do is stand up. And the world will see that, like how they seen the Traore brothers stand up, and people is ready to stand. Where we gonna stand? Where we gonna stand over here? In the face of a clear calling to stand up and be counted and let your face be seen. You know what I'm saying? Because these other people is over here and they like, no, we're the Americans and y'all don't exist. Y'all under us. And y'all are only this level of a citizen. They talking crazy.
Yes.
They talking crazy right now. So for those of us that appreciate and know the law, and then we actually know what's being said, no, now's not the time to be silent, regardless of who feels a certain way about it. Now's the time to make all of the noise needed and necessary, because this ain't a conversation that I came into at the tail end of, my nigga. You feel me? I was at the beginning of these conversations, and I will be around towards the end of it. And the conversation is not going to be qualified by who can scream the loudest, right? Who has the superior claim. All of this shit comes quiet. Get in the courtroom with your paperwork, right? But get in front of the people and make your case first. So my case is unity. You feel me? That we're stronger as a force to be reckoned with. And that's when our magic is magicking.
Yes. I agree 1,000%.
Let me clear my throat. Have mercy, babe. I hope you don't mind.
And I'm outside. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like
exactly.
We could talk about it, but I'm not gonna pivot from. I know where the strength is at. You know what I'm saying? And the strength is in unity, intentional unity. Yes. You feel me? We are not one another ops. We have an adversary who beat all of us over the head and took our shit that we want back. And a unified voice that's making that proclamation that we are ready to receive, then the universe has to obey. And those are the things that we're seeing. We're seeing planetary shifts that are galactic shifts. And those shifts mean that what? That the universe is reconfiguring itself to bring itself into an alignment with a decree, a proclamation, right? And a request of it that is stronger, that it has to now adhere to. Because as I told you, I was like, that thing over there is a house divided. We talking politics, right? Right. I'm like, it's a house divided. It's the highest level of witchcraft. It's gonna fall on itself. Now they infighting, right? It's always been our time, but it's never been our time like now.
Yes.
So what do we want? That's the first thing that we have to figure out. And then how to go and get it will become that much more clearer, right? Everything that we need, everything that we want, we already have access to. So what are we waiting on?
Yes.
Sister, well, thank you very much, my dear sister. I will see you tomorrow.
Peace.
With the one, the only queen. And give those children a big old hug for me.
I will.
Group hug.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys. All right. Thank y'all so much.
All right. Peace and love, sis. Peace. We got another caller in the building.
Yeah, and you got Queen of Fool tomorrow, so that's...
Oh, man.
That's a wonderful way to get started. Feel
Yeah,
me? Please be prepared. Yes.
yes. We got another one. We're gonna take a few more callers while Blue is here, and then we're gonna get ready to close out. We got Jedi in the building. Jedi, Junkyard Jedi. What's up, man? How you doing? What's going on? Can't hear you. On mute.
Can't hear
You on
you.
mute? Let me. Yeah, take yourself off mute.
Peace to the world,
Yeah.
man. Peace to the world. How y'all brothers doing?
Peace.
Peace. What's up?
Hey, man, I just coming on to say that I was on the mountain with you guys.
Okay.
It
Dope.
was always a pleasure. You know what I'm saying? It's always a pleasure whenever we get to link up. I'm one of them people, man. I stay in the background. You know what I mean? I don't really come up and say too much. I'm a quiet cat for the most part, but the energy, the love, the frequency on the mountain that morning, man. Me, my wife, and three of our kids was there, and it was a monumental event, man. You know what I mean? That was a memory. We climbed a mountain as a family. You know what I'm saying? Look at the symbolism in that. You know what I mean? Because we were out there with one family, as a collective. You know what I'm saying? This is shit that I wanted to see back in high school when I was reading Dr. York books. You dig what I'm saying? I was one of the first guys down here, because we in outside Savannah, you know what I mean? So I grew up down here, man. Cats weren't reading Dr. York books like that. I had to interpret those books for them cats, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because they wasn't on the knowledge like that. And, everybody grow at their own pace, but this is history in the making right here because like I said, I grew up around this. You know what I mean? Consciousness was always a part of my existence. It really was. Even when I was in the church, I had a Muslim mentor. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna make my shahada before I went to the military, but I didn't do it.
Right.
For whatever reason. So like I said, man, I'm glad that I'm very pleased that things are going the way they're going and that we have new teachers. You know what I'm saying? People are recognizing teachers in the community, who are not the Bobby Hemmings or the Dr. Fields. Big up to both of those brothers. But, the torch and the mantle is supposed to be passed on. It's supposed to be handed down. You know what I mean? And we have to be ready to pick that up in whatever capacity that we need to pick it up in.
Yes, sir.
And that's all I got, man. I just wanted to jump on and shout y'all brothers out and just reiterate and echo what's been said about the Stone Mountain event. You know what I mean? The Stone Mountain event needs to be talked about until we do it again. You know what I mean? So that we can have more people in that mountain,
Thank you, brother. Thank you very much for coming on,
Brother.
Jedi. All right.
Indeed.
Peace and love.
And again, that brother seems to signify once again what the desired demographic is.
Right.
He's a father, he's a husband, right? But he also is a outlier. He was a early member of this community, right? On the out fringes that may not get recognized as somebody that came down here and trailblaze, who put seeds in the soil, and he's able to sit back and watch, right? The vision, the things that he has saw in his mind's eye when he was reading about the concepts that our master teachers were speaking about with unity.
That's right.
Right? He's able to see it. And his children and his wife, who more than likely, his wife had to be down. She had these children. They taught them in the same way. They've been looking at him to see whether this idea that he has is going to crystallize into a community. So that mountain, again, like you can't put a meaning or a value on the things that it meant to people and the value that it meant to people that made that sacrifice. Like he said, just the symbolism of going up that mountain. You know what I'm saying? Just the symbolism of hiking a mountain, of going upward with your family and having to come back down, but making it to the mountaintop, making it to the summit. You know what I'm saying? It's not just a hike.
No, man.
It's not just a hike.
And
for those that have experienced it, for those that were there, they know that. Spirit told me, for arrogance, but specifically if you got it coming out of New York City and the way that you went about getting it, that lends to a level of arrogance because you know that you have beat the system of systems in order to come up. you have come underneath odds that are so grand against you, and to flaunt in the face of that, that adds to a level of arrogance that you can't necessarily tuck your tail, because the flex is part of it. You know what I'm saying? So we are, we're prisoners to the flex.
Prisoners to the flex. Hey, listen. I'm gonna I think what Blue said, it might be what needs to happen, a roundtable discussion. Blue knows a lot more people than I know, so I will consult with Blue about getting the right people on board. But like I said, family, once again, this is just a conversation that can't be ignored. And I think that is healthy. It's like if you have that family member who keeps doing something, you got to bring it up eventually. And me and Blue talked about this privately, and maybe this conversation was the spark. Y'all know how I do with my meetings and my events. It's humongous, it's huge, it's monumental. So could you imagine how the round table would be if we took the time to organize something? So maybe this sparked what needs to happen in order for us to fully understand each other. So I want to thank y'all for this conversation. Thank you for allowing me to express myself. I'm glad y'all was able to express yourselves. And let's continue. We're gonna figure this thing out, because it's already written. It's already written that we figure this thing out. But I thank all of y'all for tonight's conversation, man. And I'll talk to y'all soon.
Yeah, get that book, man. Go
Thank
get
you,
it
brother.
online. Go get that Garvey book, man. He really says it, man.
And
Really. Thanks, Rich.
you there, Rich?
Yeah, I'm here.
Again, we are volunteering our vessel for another assignment that's bigger than us. So I'm excited because I know that we going on it together and not against one another. And I know that if we go towards it together, we could get answers, because I know that it's going to be in the spirit of love. I was hurt, so I'm expressing the fact that yes, I have been harboring pain from being hurt, and I want to remedy that pain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let's get to it once again for those who are.
I'm like, if I hurt, like if I'm hurt and I'm not that emotionally invested in it, I can imagine the people that are stuck in identity that can't pivot. You know what I'm saying? That are super invested in it, but there are sacrifices that are being made that people feel like their sacrifices are being unqualified. And again, at the end of the day, people want family, they want community, and they want unity. This is a conversation that can no longer be ignored.
Right.
Let's step in purpose, and have this combo for real.
We'll do it the right way. I love you, brothers, man. Appreciate the conversation, and I'll talk to you soon.
Love you, man. All right, peace, Rich.
All right. Peace, brothers. All right,
peace, man. And on that note, we
I kept seeing Abundance Child pop up, but I can't see.
I see everybody. Abundance,
I can't see the words.
Yes, she'll say some good stuff. Abundance, that's our sister. She definitely got to be a part of that talk.
Shout out to Abundance Child. Yes, I know
a lot of people came through. Duan B from California came through. Duan B was in the chat.
Duan B, shout out to him.
That's my man.
This is the moment in time that we need to have these discussions. And again, let's end it on this note. Or let me say this again.
And hold on, before you say something, it reminded me of me bringing Phil and Queen Afua together. It reminded me of bringing Polite and Ali Muhammad together when they was about to get at it. Remember that? I, always on sometimes on my platform and just like that. But that was back. I even tried to bring Ray Higgins and Ashwa Kwesi together, and it just didn't pan out. See, I always try to bring this piece. I love the piece, so I'm glad that this happened the way it happened. Big up to
I have a legend. I got a legend in these streets of New York City, right? And I got my baby with me. Blue Dream is with me, so she's able to. She's been like, she's been popping in and popping out.
What's going on?
I tell the wildest stories ever, right? But I tell them and I make sure that they're wild because I know I got like witnesses. So I done told her some wild stories, but
I'm sure
I got to run into a lot of the people that was able to confirm these stories. So one of the wildest stories that I tell is that in Flatbush, Brooklyn, I was part of the contingency, the clique, the crew that helped break the spell of, Haitians being dehumanized in our community, right? I was privy to helping turn that tide in 1991 and 1992 with my crew out of Flatbush, East 19th, Beverly Road,
Of
right?
course.
Where I put together a band of Jamaicans, of Haitians that you couldn't play with.
That's right.
And then I helped them with their identity by dressing them in polo, where they embraced their identity. They wasn't hiding that they was Haitian, and nobody could play with them in their face because you wouldn't be around anymore, right? And again, I'm not bringing this concept or energy of quote unquote violence. I'm just saying that this is when people are fighting for their identity, and when they're going against mobs, like you said, of people bullying them and dehumanizing them, you know, with verbal taunts and even physical harm.
Yes.
Right? You got to respond to that. And I saw these Haitians stand up and respond to it in a way that made everybody respect them. And then it trickled. It went from Flatbush and it rippled. Then Wyclef and them came on the scene and they took it from there. But Wyclef was running with Haitian Jack. So he was in a tunnel with his shirt off. He was feeling different because he got around a company of people that wasn't going to play that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that's what it takes. And I'm only saying that to say that this moment in time that we're at, with the passion that we have and the love for our people, the only thing that I know is the love for the people. You know what I'm saying? That has been my driving force from day one. And I never stopped and asked what somebody's genealogy was, because I wanted specifically to give them back their humanity, which I knew that was being denied to them by the colonizer who got us all caught up in lies. Yes. Right?
Yes.
This particular, you know, direction that we're heading, it won't be any different. But these conversations just have not been had from the front. They've been had from the back, from behind for far too long.
That's right.
So this is an opportunity once and for all to get it all on the table for people to look one another eye to eye to see what you really on. You know what I'm saying? Because people are being emotionally hurt, and
thank you.
I feel that we just it's on us to come to a better understanding. Right. And when I met Abundance, when I met the brothers and other sisters in the movements in the early 2000s, you know what I mean? The stuff that we put on our back for the people, that's now mainstream conversation.
Right.
Right? That's now law. That's now we done seen all of the things that we were on the fringes with become mainstream conversations. We saw these conversations conform the entire globe. You know what I'm saying? To it, where the whole president and them is running off of conspiracy theories, and their whole base is built off of that. So yeah, we owe it to one another to know that we are worthy of this assignment. We was made for this time, and there's no way to go but forward, in the words of Garvey. You know what I'm saying? There's no way to go but forward, and we have to go through this to get there. Then so be it. That is the roots of consciousness. Consciousness has always been called to stand up, right?
That's right.
To the calling, whatever the assignment is at the particular time, for where the hearts of the people are at, where the mind of the people at. Consciousness is awareness. Consciousness is mind. So we represent that small contingency of neural activity, right? Just like the pineal is small, it's in the brain. Yeah, we represent that. We're as small as the pineal, right? But as powerful as it as well. So again, what a wonderful time to be alive. What a wonderful assignment to, you know, take on for the love of our people. You know what I'm saying? So today's consciousness can be a gift to the children that are waking up. You know, right now, they want to embrace tomorrow's consciousness. They want to carve a lane out for themselves. They want to get into metaphysics.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I walked by that school today, the school that's right next to where Uncle Hank is at on Eastern Parkway.
Oh, the School of the Deaf. The School of the Deaf. Yes.
School of the Deaf.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm like, and I told, you know, Blue Dream, I'm like, now imagine if this was a Professor X school right here for metaphysics. Like right here.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
That's the next phase of what I want to see. I want to see children being taught numeration in class. I want to see children being taught Abundance Child's curriculum and Drop Squad Kitchen and home ec and home rec. You know what I'm saying? I want to see children being taught podcasting 101 with Brother Rich, right? All of these skills that we have that we're taking for granted is the skill sets that will prepare our people for the future. You know what I mean? And these dialogues and these conversations that we're having will also be the template for how we go forward and create curriculum for the future, right? Where there's constitutions and contracts and covenants that are being drawn up by these treaties that we have against quote unquote warring nations and tribes. So yes, let's step up. Let's step to the mandate. Let's get it done. And let's bring healing to our people. I look forward to it. I'm excited and totally reinvigorated. So thank you once again, because I know the magic is always in the momentum when you sit down with Suit and Simon. So, you know, I just had to be here today and we got the ball rolling.
Part two, and I want to thank Keisha Forrester for even sharing this with me when I did an interview with her. And I never got to read this, so I had to put it in my cart and get. But this book here, Pap, this is where Garvey said that the melanated man and the melanated woman of America is the blueprint. And I understood when you read it in context. You got to read it in context. Get the book or go download it, whatever you can. And Blue, I want to thank you again. Thank Brother Rich for coming in. Thank Jedi for coming in. New Diamonds for coming in and spreading love the way y'all spread love. And I'm glad we ended in a love fest, showing each other love. And that's we can disagree to agree or agree to disagree, whatever we call it. Thank everybody for coming on. Ascended, Infinite Goddess. Of course, everybody, Paris, everybody, Abundance, everybody that came through. Dwan B. I'm going to be going on his show once I get this throat right, man. I'm going to go on his show. I'm working on it.
Yeah, shout out to Dwan B.
I left my voice on the mountain top.
Hey,
like Martin
I did too. Yeah.
Yo, but I haven't had no time to really rest it the way I want to. But man, I'm so happy for this second part 2 of Blue Pillar 44 in the mix, the 17th episode. Oh man, and that's funny. Rich is born on the 17th, so it's interesting that he came on this 17th episode. So I'm glad.
Who was he?
Hey, oh yeah, that's right.
Remember,
both of them on the same day. What's up, beautiful?
They born the same day.
And 17, you know what's so funny? In numerology, that number 17-8 is about old things coming back to heal us or haunt us. That number 8.
Look, so
I'm
me,
in my 8 year.
she's in an 8 year, and she's a 7 of clubs.
Oh, yes, right.
I'm a 6 of club, right? Yeah. So I know the relationship, and I've always told Rich that I'm like, you and her the only ones in my life to get to speak to me the way that y'all do, but I also know to listen because I know that there's an eldership message coming through them. Both of them are younger than me, but I still allow them to play a role in my life as sages.
Yes.
Where I'm like, they're not going to tell me something that's going to be a waste of breath. So if they're saying something, maybe I need to listen. And sometimes you can listen with your ear. Sometimes you can listen with your heart.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
She's taught me because, you know. Because we have been trained. I've been trained to close my ears off for certain things and certain conversations because I'm also from the street. That's right. And I also was exposed to the game. But I, you know, in the midst of that, looking for real love and true love and knocking down our false exteriors, then you got to get into places like listening with the heart. I had to learn shit that I didn't know in order to compensate for Virgo, but it was well worth it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
and
it was.
She helps me in that way, and I'm able. You see, I ain't cut Rich off one time, right?
Yes.
That was a record.
Yeah, that is a record.
So,
that is a record.
It was a record. I've learned and I've grown, and I also knew enough to know when he came that he would have a message, and I didn't even know. So again, the responsibility. Again, he's gonna keep me responsible, same as her. He's gonna remind me of things that I'm obligated to, same as her. He's gonna reinforce it. Blue, you can do better, same as her. So they like twins. You feel me?
Yes, they are.
But I get the benefit because the Virgos are super analytical. Scorpio, if you out there, the Virgo's gonna see your back office. You don't got eyes behind your back. That's what the Virgo's there for. Help clean your shit.
It's funny. It's funny. Virgo and Gemini is connected to the number 5 in numerology, so that's very interesting. And you're born on the 14th, which is a 5. And you know, so I look at all of that stuff, and you know, 5 and 8 are usually challenge numbers to each other, but it's either going to challenge you to be your best or challenge you to be your worst. That's one thing. It works. My life path is a 17, so I know what this is when I see these different connections. Abundance is a 17 energy. So I see what it is when I see these people. So you know, and they all pop up in my life in different intervals of life. And you know, and Scorpion is my moon, so I know how crazy that can be.
Oh wow.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Moon, y'all need to write a book.
Yo, I need to write a whole book.
My bad, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
My
What
bad.
you say? What you gonna say?
Forget Scorpio Suns. I want to see a book by Scorpio Moon and Scorpio Risings.
That'd be deep.
Y'all different, yeah. Y'all got your own stories. Y'all different.
A whole lot of them. Yo, thank you very much, Blue Dream. I see you out there training and picking up them weights, girl. Do it.
Yes,
do it.
sir.
Do it. Go ahead and do it, girl. Go on and do it.
Yes, sir. I'm back home and I'm getting it in.
I'm so proud of both of y'all, man. I mean,
thank you, sir.
Y'all are doing it, man. So you're Superman and Superwoman.
Yes, sir.
I love it. Yo, we'll talk, man. And I gotta get you on one day, Blue Dream. I need a whole panel of the younger people that came up into this consciousness and what they feel from their perspective. You know,
yes, whenever you're ready, I'm available.
The Cubs,
I'll have to call that panel because I need the young gods and goddesses that grew up in it and knew certain things and how they view it from another angle. That's what I need.
Yes.
So,
well, you know, I'm always here. I'm always available.
Yes, my dear. Yes, my dear.
Whenever you're ready, I'm ready.
How's mom? She all right?
She's doing great.
Good.
She's doing 10 times better. Yep.
I don't know her, but I send my love to her. I understand.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Blue, go ahead.
And I gotta hold on. Shout out to Mama Pill.
Oh yeah, Mama Pill.
Episodes out. Shout out to KT. Shout out to Red Pill out there. Shout out to Pink Pill. All of the pills. Shout out to Black Pill.
You don't shout out your sister. How's she doing?
Which one?
Your sister with your mother, your original sister, your biological sister. How's she doing?
Oh, shout out Lauren.
I met her son. He's born February 3rd or February 8th. I met her son.
Oh, Nakiba. Oh, shout out Nakiba. You're talking about Tristan. Yeah. Off the hook.
Yeah, your mother's
shout out Lauren, shout out Tristan. And I met a new sister. Our father. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All kind of gifts be given. Shout out to she's wow. She's an amazing soul. Shout out to her. Her family. Yeah, shout out to the New York family. There's a lot of promising lights out here.
Yes.
A lot of people that are answering the call and really stepping up. A lot of mutants, man. So shout out to the New York family.
Yeah, big up to Nicholas. He was in the chat too. Nicholas was in the chat.
Oh yeah, definitely. Shout out to Monique and Nicholas, and the whole family over there. We got fitness on Fulton going on.
Yo, it looks
what
tight.
I'm saying? We brought it right outside into the community. And before we cut off, real quick, because you can understand this because you're from the community,
right?
That Nicholas Bookstore has been a staple in the community for decades, for many and plenty of years. They're going on their 50th year anniversary.
51st. This year, 55.
51st, they're circling the block, so they're coming around their 51st.
Yep.
And seeing us being able to engage outside with community right there on Fulton, and people was not even able to walk by, the pull-up bar. They got with it. Everybody got with the program.
I jumped on it too when I was out there. I jumped on it. I think about 20 straight.
I felt so good for her to see that she's adding an additional layer of service to her community by now being outside with fitness, being able to demonstrate and that community really suffers from comorbidity, weight issues, you know what I'm saying? Just like sedentary, people need to move, they need to be active. So I envision for Nicholas and her fitness on Fulton is going to grow into like a full-fledged movement. They're going to have to take it to the park and ultimately probably get a building next door or something, because she's going to end up building a gym. I see it.
Yeah, I'm glad she's back on her game. I know she needed to train again. I'm glad she's doing her thing. But thank you very much for all that you do, Blue. Your link tree still works, right? Linktree/Blue Pillar.
Yeah. Yes.
44. Yeah. And your email, if anybody want to email, his Cash App is right there. I've been showing that all throughout the show.
Oh yeah, that Cash App Cash App took me down, man.
Oh, they took me down too. So what you got?
Cash App took me down, bro.
Took me down also. So oh, Lord, I'm using my son's Cash App now. Any other Cash App you want to share? Or no?
Yeah, she got a Cash App. They still got her in the building. Miss Harvey. Miss Harvey 917.
How you say?
And
How you spell it?
Huh?
How you spell
MS. HARBEY 917.
Oh, her birthday.
And we really got to speak about these different financial tools and apparatuses. I got a remedy coming out with the app Yap It. They got like a Cash App component that's built into it. So everything that they hit us with, we kind of have come up with solutions and remedies or what have you.
Yeah, but let that brother know I want to talk to him too. Let the brother know what I want to talk. What's the brother name that started that's promoting Yap It? The bald-headed brother. Corey. Let him know I want to interview him. I think I have his number. I'm gonna look for it.
I definitely will. And he reveres you. He keeps you in the highest of regards. He's always bringing your name up as somebody that will work wonders on the network. So I'm definitely going to pass that information along. I saw a post this morning. Congratulations to Billy Carson and like he's doing some major things with his network.
Yeah, he's back on it, man.
So yeah, there's amazing things going on, family. There's moves that are being made. They're behind the scene. The family will know about them very shortly, in the public. But I have a renewed passion now, and that's to have this dialogue. That's to build a bridge so people can finally, get across the table face to face and get things said without throwing jabs at one another and hurting one another's feelings. Because I'm trying to tell you, feelings are being hurt. And it's not out of people being weak. It's out of matters of the heart. People having their heart stepped on and things of that nature. And it all could be from a misunderstanding. But let's communicate like men.
That's all it takes, bro. Well, thank you very much again, man, for coming on, my brother. Thank you very much. All right, you be safe, be great, and stay strong, my brother. All right, we're here.
Indeed.
All right. One love.
Always.
All right.
Peace, brother.
Peace. My brother, Blue Pillar. Oh, thank everybody that came in the chat, man. Like I said, I don't have a major platform. This is called King Simon Presents Only Quality People. So I rather quality people come on, sometimes when it gets no slight to everybody that have a big platform, I like the people, but sometimes it comes with bots and sometimes it comes with troll. Sometimes people get disrespectful. There was no disrespect on the channel, which was good. You might find one that, but it was moving so fast. I wasn't able to put up everybody's comment when Brother Rich was on and all that. But it was, I was just focusing on what was said so we can make sure we find some common ground, some common unity. So again, I want to thank each and every one of y'all for coming on. And I always close out, family. I know how I close out. Dr. B's saying, I know what I close out with. This is how I feel all the time. I forgive myself, my family, and others for imperfection, and I am thankful for my life. And I close out with Dr. Blair's prayer. Please, Universal Creator, know in my heart that I love you. Please protect me and this planet in which I live now. Please open my mind, my spirit, and my soul to receive only truth in your love now. Remember, family, support the channel. If you want to advertise on my channel, get that advertisement discount. Right now, we got an advertisement discount that's going to go all the way till September. Of course, you can support the channel through PayPal, Zelle, Venmo, Chime, Cash App. Thanks to everybody that's been donating, people that did the super chat, super sticker. I may not mention your name, but thank y'all very much. It's really, really important. Tomorrow, we got Queen Afua with us tomorrow with New Diamonds making her guest co-host debut on my channel. New Diamonds will be here live and direct with filtering questions from to Queen Afua tomorrow at 7 p.m. And Queen Afua is preparing for her ascension ceremony. Big up to Lloyd Strayhorn. Those that are in England, Lloyd Strayhorn will be coming to England. Take a snapshot of this and make sure you put the website in your search engine and get those tickets. If you're into martial arts, my brother, one of my grandmasters, Dr. Abdul Aziz Muhammad, will have something in Chicago, July 25th through the 27th. Make sure you go to that website, show them some love. All right. And of course, Abundance Child, big up to her and John Carr doing their thing on WJVSradio.com. Show them love. Show Lloyd Strayhorn some love. Show my son some love. And I'll be running the new advertisers. And if you want to do my 10-minute and 15-minute new motivation session, pre-recorded session, 50% off until July 22nd. 50% off for the 10-minute session and 50% off for the 15-minute session right now. The 30-minute and the 60 minutes still the same price. We had a discount last month for that. But this time, we want to make sure y'all are all right. Get that tune up. Get that alignment up. We doing what we got to do. All right? Family, thank you very much. And remember, I love you because I love me. Take care. One love. Today's consciousness, today's consciousness, today's consciousness. What happened and how can we change it? From the pristine position that we held in today's consciousness, here's a new show just for you every Tuesday called Today's Consciousness. Be there and enjoy all the great special guest stars that will be passing through on a new show called Today's Consciousness. Today's Consciousness. Today's Consciousness. Are you ready to address all the things that are going on? And how can we heal today's consciousness? Today's consciousness. Today's consciousness. Right here on KSP TV. Today's consciousness. What happened and how can we change it?
thank Grandmaster and all the Grandmasters, male and female, that are here. And I want to thank you for demonstrating the greatness of your skill.
I'm saying, when I'm confronted by him, the question is, what do I see in him? What do I see if we're taught that when we look at another man or brother or sister, when we look at our alternate's heart, we've got to see ourselves. Do you understand what I'm saying? So now the question is, what do you see? Do you see yourself, or do you see someone capable of destroying you?
It's about guiding people. The only way you can make the world better is if you make the people better. So it's about showing them the light of hope in themselves and their family. Everything in this universe is all about synchronicity.
Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numeration from the king, learn the foundation from the king. Nana Pushe, 1 + 1 is 2. Be precise. 3 + 2 is 5. Guard your mind. Me plus you is mathematician. Learn from the one numerovator. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Me innovation from a king, me foundation from the king. Nana Pushe, numbers are simple, no people are complicated. Numerovision from a king, me foundation from the king.
No, it's not about reading, it's about guiding. I don't do readings, I do consultations, because you should know yourself. As good as the back of your hand, you should know yourself. I want everyone out there to be clear that this is to serve you like a GPS serves you. Remember, each of us has guaranteed ourselves success. Be that magi, family. Be that magician. Be that numerovational motivated force. It's the numerovational session with King Simon. Text your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022, and get my books on Amazon now. Some people think that this esoteric knowledge is for the rich and powerful, when in actuality, the so-called 85% has a spark in them that if it is sparked through numerology, astrology, motivation, whatever, it will raise them up from an 85%, maybe to a 10%, and eventually they become the 5%, the poor or prosperous righteous teachers. You gotta understand that this knowledge is not just for one class of people. We gotta get out of the class.